Where did we last leave off? I'm actually curious. Almost every single person here is past Ascension 10, except the Ironclad. Defect is the only one, to my knowledge, that does not have the alternate arts. Yeah, I don't have the beta art for anything else. So I guess we'll do Ironclad, then Defect, because those guys are in order of people who have decent unlocks that I still need to get. You getting past Ascension 10, and then the Defect getting his beta art, which just seems to always get, like, I always get insanely close and it just never happens. Greetings. Choose. The first... Okay, I shouldn't ever really discount the 3 random potions, because that usually carries me through the first couple of fights. The 2 colorless cards, though, one of them can be the colorless card that gives me more colorless cards. I'm getting more and more... Okay, there we go. I'm getting more and more concerned that this game is just going to crash on me with, like, no warning. This is going to keep happening every time I try to do something new in the game. It's like it's trying to run one of the games I build for the very first time, which is a very poor sign. I don't actually build any games, I'm just kind of saying it for the joke. I haven't made a game since last year. And even then, it's not like the game was ever released, because our group never wanted to work on it past the point, because they say nothing and do nothing, so... Anyway, lost opportunities and failures aside, I'm gonna go with the 2 colorless cards, because we get Apotheosis and Enlightenment, which together are an insane combination. You know what, why not? Sure, we'll play the Enlightenment for the sake of playing the Enlightenment. Not like anything else really is gonna matter in this case. Really what I want to do is just shove on Ascension if I get it. But I don't get it. Instead I need to do as many all-out strikes against this guy as possible, because he's just going to gain so much strength per turn that there's not going to be a whole lot I can do to stop him. But at the same time, it's not like I'm actually going to kill him, so I might as well block one more turn and then hope I can off this man in like the next 2 turns? Because with Apotheosis I can at least defend myself. I just need 3 strikes to actually finish him off. And ultimately I'll still heal for 3 by the end of this, if I can get 3 strikes. I can't. However, now I only need 2 strikes. But even though I only need 2 strikes... Be the swole wood? I fear no swole. Is there like a back... Okay, hang on. Is there a background process running that's not supposed to be running? Okay, 100% CPU... No, it's 100% disk usage. What is using the disk? It's the Steam client, meaning it's probably trying to update something. And now it's stopped. I'm concerned. I would love to be the swole wood. There's not a whole lot of reason for me to be the swole. What is going on? Alright, hang on. Sure, because we have Apotheosis, there's no reason to take anything else, and Trugodoff's existence is just to find Apotheosis. Well, at least we're really good at not taking damage. Okay, look, I wanted to be really good at not taking damage, but you're making that really hard to do. Fine, I'll take 6. For the love of all stop signs in the galaxy, cease And desist. Yep, we started off with an Apotheosis, so I really don't care about upgrading my cards. I just care about making Apotheosis slightly better if I can. Oh. That'd be my equivalent of, like, noises, golden noises with it. I don't think anyone really wants that. I was halfway considering returning to Hearthstone, but I kind of vowed to never return. As a result of just me not being interested in the card game anymore. I just lost all interest in, like, grinding it out day to day to try to get things to work. Do I want to immolate? Do I really want to immolate, like, right now? No, I kind of want to preserve what health I have. And when the Jawworm is actually killable, then maybe we can immolate him and see what happens. You know what? I probably should have expected as such. But here we are. Missed out on an opportunity for Apotheosis. Yeah. It's a shame because, in theory, it's an amazing game, but... Because it would be really good in terms of having a larger card variety and a larger possibility for options, because you can actually trust Hearthstone, the game, to do the, like, deck shuffling and otherwise for certain card effects. But instead they just went the route of everything is random, and thus skill doesn't matter, which makes people angry over time. Yeah, the slow kill decks are also some of the worst. I mean, it's a valid strategy. Not to kill as slow as possible, but just to... Here, get rid of a strike because it's not necessary. Not killing as slow as possible, but grinding opponents down is a valid tactic if you can outlast your opposition. It's just, it sometimes gets to be way too much. Some gold acquired. I am going to smith, and the reason I'm smithing Apotheosis is just so I can get it and cast it for one, whenever I have the opportunity. Hail and well met. Oh god, it's the Logvalin. Although, regeneration really doesn't matter. Does this deal more damage? 14 plus 9 is 21, I think. No, that's not how 21 works, that's 23. So immolate, if I'm going to deal damage, I might as well just do everything all at once. So, you know what? Let's Alpha Strike. With an early Apotheosis, we should be able to kill the Logvalin moderately fast. Well, I say moderately fast, but I still want to take as little damage as possible. And so I'll at least put my defenses up as often as I can. Render unto him vulnerability. Oh yeah, the Shutterwalk Troll deck. Like, Shutterwalk's an amazing card, but it produces so many broken interactions because they just... All I can imagine here is I am only picturing that the problem that the dev team is having is that they are not producing stock standard effects and are making each card count individually rather than doing everything as one whole effect. Say, if something has the effect to draw a card, they manually program it to draw a card instead of simply applying the modifier, draw a card, times 3 if something draws 3 cards, for example. And they're just not streamlining the code like that. That's all I'm really picturing. You know what? Let's go for a block deck. I've rarely if ever built one of these, and I admittedly did lose the body slams once or twice, but a block deck followed up by burns doesn't really seem that bad. Oh, 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 oh. I mean, not in all honesty, Shutterwalk has maybe one or two. It's usually just a single turn of insane plays by the Shutterwalk player that finishes them off. Or that causes you to die because of an overload of value in the next couple of turns from the good Shutterwalks. Greetings, Flare. Welcome. Eternal Blade just doesn't seem like my cup of tea right now. Neither does Twin Strike. Like, the one Twin Strike I took was accidental. I wasn't really thinking about card. Yes, Courier. There's no reason not to take the Courier, especially this early. Is there a card that I would like to smith? Other than True Grit, not really. I think we'll just rest. Oh yeah, no, I hated those when working. I hate those in college currently, those days that are just... everything is inconsistently annoying to work with. I can't kill you, but I can make it so you suffer. No, I can sit here and waste time, because I'll only take 3 damage from this, and I can heal that up till... I'll heal back up to 76. Can I get Immolation? No? Okay, I guess. But yeah, I can understand a feeling of pervasive exhaustion. I'm still trying to get off my college schedule, because right now one of my major problems is that I just really don't want to do much of anything, because I wake up and feel exhausted for the rest of the day. Because I'm just not sleeping properly, but that's not really going to happen. That is not really going to happen anytime soon. Do I immolate and shrug it off? I can defend immolate or bash immolate. So my win condition here right now is just a toss of a second immolate as soon as possible. With the dazed cards that they're going to be shoving into my deck, that's not really likely, but hey, I can still pull this off. I promise. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to kill anyone in particular, so might as well continue to focus on everything. Oh baby, one of those situations. Worry a lot about just... I'm saying this as someone who's worked at a place like that. Having terminals that were from, like, the 2000s era sucks. I know that certain terminals are even earlier than this, or earlier than that, in which case I'm sorry for people who do that. But really, companies, update your freaking terminals. Make it so people aren't terminally ill trying to use your terminals. Because Jesus... there's a point of insanity that we've gone long past, where they can just update their stuff and it wouldn't be a problem. Like, if they would just only update their stuff, you would have workers who'd be a lot happier than having to wait and suffer through something you refuse to update for so long and lose profits out because you're not running with modern day tech. The people who are. Ah yes, my incoherent ramblings have begun again. Well, this turn's going to kind of suck. Need to draw an immolate. I mean, yes, we all know they have no reason to innovate, so they're not going to change anything. Charon's ashes. Why can I not get you with the silent? Why is it only the ironclad? Why? So, the Ashes, whenever you exhaust a card, deals 3 damage to all enemies. With Shivs, this is insane because it boosts the Shiv's damage. It makes it so the Shivs say, 0 mana, deal this damage to 1 target, and 3 damage to all others. Probably. I mean, Jesus. You know what, let's get the Ruby Key early. Nothing like a nice Ruby Key to carry us through in the morning. Enlightenment, Immolate, and Twin Strike. And finish them off. Yeah, no, I understand completely. It's partially why I really don't want to go looking for work again, even though it's the summer. But at the same time, I really do want to actually go to Gen Con this year, and hopefully not have my computer break down again, so I can actually stream from Gen Con. Not like a live stream or anything like that, but just stream like the day's events and otherwise. Yeah, we can double tap. I think a good double tap will work well. Would do wonders in this fight. Who am I facing again? You. Healing isn't really going to matter. No, because I'm well above the threshold, so he's going to hit me for the max damage anyway. Give me an upgraded double tap so we can use an upgraded double tap. I've had many bosses that when I've requested a shift change, I never ended up getting it in any reasonable time frame. Put you back on top. We'll toss up a bunch of defenses, but it's not like it's really going to matter. And sure, we'll throw some poison onto the Hexaghost, because poison's damage is consistent. Sweet, we actually got rid of one of the wounds. Neat. This only gives me 4 plated armor. 6 times 6 is 36, so I'd still take the damage anyway. And I would lose some of the plated armor, so we'll just wait. Oh. We can throw the vulnerability potion and just start tossing all attacks out. Wow, yeah, right. Costs energy. Need to remember that from time to time. Apotheosis costs energy. Who'd have thunk it? Oh, baby. If only it added a burn to my hand so I could discard it immediately. Do I immolate? Yes, of course I immolate. I need to finish this fight this century. On the bright side, he's almost halfway. On the downside, he's almost halfway through his charging. On the bright side, we're almost halfway through his health. So, all I can say is I think we're doing kind of well. Alright, he strengthens himself and strengthens his fire. Do I really defend myself here? No. We need to start burning down the Hexaghost, because if we don't, in 2 turns he's going to get his special attack off, and if he gets his special attack off, we're kind of dead. We'll definitely bash, and we'll definitely strike, because... no, strike it off. Because at least this will block everything, and we'll have our vulnerability up for this turn. Can't kill him. Welp! Ladies and gentlemen, time to take an obscene amount of damage, because killing this man has proved to be the worst thing we could ever possibly try to do. A defense deck needs defense. However, we immolated the Hexaghost, and so here we go. I'll take Fiendfire because it has some really weird synergy with our deck. Never take Ectoplasm, it's just a good joke. And I'll take Black Blood instead, because I'd like to get some of my health back at the end of every fight. Because, oh my gosh, just how much health we've lost so far. It hurts. I have lost every single game I've taken Ectoplasm. Every single one without fail. And it usually is because I couldn't buy anything else to fix my deck. Money is king, and I am full of greed. Yeah, we're going to start off by going to the shop, though, because I don't know what I'm going to find here, but I know I'm going to be able to afford it, at least. I wish we could use power through, but there's not a whole lot of point. All I really need now is the medkit, so I can just start playing and exhausting my cards. Yeah, this will kill you. Oh yeah, no, as long as you're able to heal, there's not a humongous problem with the Ironclad. It's just if they actually start overwhelming you, or if you can't net positive occasionally. We're gonna take El Chico, the relic. Blue Candle ain't worth it. Prismatic Shard isn't great. Madness is terrible. Zavenya. There's nothing here that actually really terrifies me. Like, I could delete another card, but I'd actually rather just take... because if I don't delete a card, all it does is provide more ammunition for Searing Blow. Not Searing Blow, for Fiendfire. And sure, I could find Fiendfire easier, but I actually want to keep some cards in my deck. Spot weakness is indeed a Stickman. From Stickman Animations. I want the Prismatic Shard because I can then get Shivs, and Shivs plus Charon's Ashes is amazing. But at the same time, I don't, because... you know what, we'll take it. It's Mango. We'll see, because there's some cards here that synergize exceedingly well with what we currently got. Give me that money. Money is worth more than the Ritual Dagger ever could. Oddly Smoothstone gives me dexterity. It just gives me an extra batch of dexterity to make use of. I mean, I could hit this guy ridiculously hard, and I'd still have good stuff to work with afterwards. So you know what? Let's go and do this. Let's go. The ritual dagger does not scale well enough. Double tap, immolate, dead. If the ritual dagger scaled a little bit more, then I'd probably make use of it, but as it currently stands, it's just not really worth it. Yeah, we can go take on an elite. What's the worst that could happen? No. I don't need self-healing in that regard. I have the black blood already. Shrug it off first, because that allows me to actually draw something. Double tap. I can double tap bash. It's not like I'm actually going to be able to defend myself easily. But I will double tap bash on the slaver in the back. Because this slaver, if he remains alive, is actually going to kill me. Considering I do rely on actually attacking at a certain... Twin Strike will deal the exact same damage as Fiend Fire. So this would deal 28 baseline. So no matter what, I can actually play this defend to have a little bit of protection from the damage, and then I can still kill the slaver. I'm weakened, but that's not too horrible. I wish I had an upgraded Fiend Fire, though, but we can't have everything that we want. Power through to defend, and True Writ to toss up Charon's Ashes. My one mistake here is I didn't take one of the body slams earlier, but I think I can just outlast most of my opponents. There are very few that I can't. This won't kill any of you. And that won't defend anything. I wish I could have exhausted one more card then. Like, there was an opportunity for it, but I'd take a lot more. I would be 6 health less than I currently am, I guess. Which, I mean, when you put it that way, it's not like it really mattered. Oh, well. Ugh. All I can say. Ugh. It didn't matter in the end. We have more defenses. Oh, we don't have any power cards, otherwise Amplify would be amazing. But Adrenaline works out perfectly for us. Warcry... It's card disadvantage, but I want to cycle something, so we'll put the strike back on top. Power through... and toss up the Fiend Fire on the Centurion. And she should spend the majority of her time healing now. And now she should spend all her time healing at this rate. Ooh, blood potion. If only we could actually heal up a little bit more than what we currently have. Prepared Plus is not really worth it. I have drawn Fiend Fire at the beginning of every single one of these combats since the dawn of time. Admittedly, it's made for some very, very interesting alpha strikes, but seriously, there is a point where it is rather ridiculous that this keeps going on. Suffer! I didn't notice the little eye on the top of his head just lights up. Your vulnerability does in fact scare me, and I ask if you would please cease and desist, good sir. Double tap. Bash twice. Strike twice, and he's dead. See, this strategy is starting to pay off, and it's starting to pay off beautifully. Copy an attacker power card. Well, we don't exactly have an attack that I'd really like to copy. Or make multiple copies of, so dual wield just isn't worthwhile. But Beam Cell, 0 cost to deal damage and make something vulnerable. I think we're good on that. I mean, adding attacks isn't bad, but the eggs really aren't that helpful. So let's just finish off the key and guarantee that if we make it to the end, we have a chance of encountering the heart of the Spire again. After all this time. This is the battle that we always have problems with. Mushroom Man, the Mushroom Man, does whatever the mushroom can. Do we like the Mushroom Man? We really don't like the Mushroom Man. Please cease and desist. We're trying our hardest to actually kill the shelled parasite, but it's just not happening. That's a lot of health gone. Oh, yes. The Fungi Beast is on 1 health, but being accidentally barbecued by his best friend's demise. And now we'll immolate him again to give him a good flambe. Oh. Did not realize colorless could also be a thing here. Well. If only we could nullify certain debuffs with it before they happen. Because I know later on, there aren't really many debuffs that I really care for. I'll still take it. This debuff nullification still has its uses, but... Oh yes, read it. Oh baby, yes. Niao, Ancient Resurrection. Give me the book. Meat on the bone. I like meat. I like the Sling of Courage, but I think the Singing Bowl actually matters more. Matrishka. Why would you torment me so? Matrishka. Oh. The Sling of Courage for 2 strength might have helped me, but in this case right now, I feel as if being able to continually boost max health would be a little bit better. It's the stabbing book. And this is Evolve. It really works perfectly with what we're currently running with. I'll still do Adrenaline because that still gets me some more energy to work with. True Grit to get rid of the regular defend. Warcry could still have a use in the future because it does technically draw me a card. This is one of those instances where I can actually probably promptly kill this man. Panacea is not good enough to hold on to, but Beam Cell I'll gladly toss away in order to Fiend Fire this Fiend properly. This knife is about as big as my torso, and he stabbed me with it. Why am I still alive? I've never fully understood. Like, seriously, what do you expect? I shouldn't be alive with me getting... Oh! It was written! It was written. We have... the dead branch. All we're missing is the spoon, and we have a full exhaust synergy. I'm gonna go for the question mark, I don't know about you guys. An altar to a forgotten god. Yeah, I'll take that. Max health actually kind of works in my favor because I can use the blood potion to heal up. So your upgraded form, not yours. Your upgraded form causes you to not be exhausted. No, you still get exhausted. So I'm okay with what we're currently got going for us. I'm going to rest up so I don't die instantaneously, get up to around half health, and go and fight the champion. Scholars be praised. And you gave me Body Slam, because you know what? Why not? Let's just go even higher than what we thought possible. Well, in all honesty right now, Immolate does actually do a whole lot more than we're currently working with, so... yeah, I would Body Slam, but I just think Immolate does so much more. That's the plan. Adrenaline. We're going to blast this man's body off into non-existence. Warcry, which is going to keep filling up more cards from our deck. Which gives us Dead Branch. Do I want Dead Branch? Yes, because I'm going to be filling up my deck with useless garbage. So I will keep the Evolve because that's actually a good power, but I'm going to double tap Fiend Fire, because that's going to basically re-roll every single card in my hand. That's going to re-roll it twice, I just realized. It's going to give me all the stuff back, and then it's going to delete all the cards again. Because none of the stuff we're keeping. And then we're going to hit him again with all this stuff. Well then, I think that worked. But power through, yes. Dark Embrace, yes. We will gladly do this. I don't have Fiend Fire now, though. I didn't get lucky enough to roll another Fiend Fire. I might have to find something else, some other way to make this all work. Well, I'm going to True Grit here off the Strike, because the Strike actually isn't that helpful. Reckless Charge is actually helpful. To explain why, Reckless Charge gives me an infinite source of cards to get deleted via Dead Branch. And even though this champion is getting very, very angry with me for having dumped a ton of damage in a single turn, I think I'll be fine. Well, I said that, but I guess that's not really the case. Just gonna drink this now. 9 health. Kinda worth. It's only that he has the, like, vulnerability forced on me that would deal a ludicrous amount of damage to me. It's a reckless charge. Toss in another. Infernal Blade? I shouldn't, but it costs 0, so I must. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what we call a reroll. Right! I keep, my deck keeps getting ever full. What am I even doing anymore? I don't know. Power through plus True Grit, I guess? With the amount of cards I keep shoving into my deck, reality can be whatever I guess we're just playing the... Yeah, I guess we're just playing the best option that we physically got. Jesus Christ, what is wrong with this setup? And why am I getting to do this? Make him vulnerable. We could trigger away the Wild Strike, because that's not useful. Offering. I'll gladly use the Offering to guarantee that I survive. What the actual... Okay, sure. I'm not sure what just happened, but it did. So let's just keep going and see what happens. Immolate. Immolate. I don't have enough to actually do anything to you. You're on 1 health. Your slap to the face now hurts me far more than anything that you had done previously. And he dies before the attack goes off. I don't think Alchemize is really worth it. Considering we're just playing cards and seeing what happens, I don't think Alchemize matters. We could transform then upgrade 3 cards, but you know what? I think I'm just gonna go with the Black Star and just start gaining relics out the wazoo.